Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. Short PSA, in this video I've got two stories and both of them have updates. Now let's begin with the first one. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user SarahJake2022. Am I the a-hole for flipping out on my fiance for cancelling all the vegan food options from our wedding food menu behind my back? My fiance, 31 male, and I, 25 female, are getting married soon. There wasn't much that we disagreed on during the wedding planning except for food. My family and I are vegans, and there are so many reasons why we chose this lifestyle, and one of them being that we have a history of health issues. My fiance and his family are the complete opposite. They are hardcore meat eaters, which is fine by me, obviously. However, when deciding on the wedding food menu, I wanted to add 4 to 5 vegan options. My fiance and his mom objected, saying it was a waste of money over food that isn't real food. They also argued that this would be offensive for their guests and suggested my vegan options just be the good old salads and appetizers. His mom wanted cupcakes. Lol. I said no because for one, it's me and my family who's paying, and two, I want to make my guests feel welcome and not be treated as second-class citizens by being served salad. My fiance made a face and said, "Isn't that what vegans eat?" I refused to argue about it and said it was final. Now, the other day, I found out that he had cancelled all the vegan options and taken them off the menu completely and behind my back. I was seething. I called him at work, but he kept hanging up on me. I went straight to his workplace and confronted him there and just flipped out on him. He was stunned to see me. At first, said it was his mom's idea and then told me to go home because I was making a scene at the office. The fight continued at home and he defended himself by saying that I sort of made him resort to doing this after I kept brushing off his thoughts and input and refusing to accommodate his family. But there were plenty of meat options. Why can't I get 4 to 5 vegan options when I'm paying for it? He yelled that it was his wedding too, not my family's. My family said it was fine and they'll figure it out and told me to let it go, but I refused. Am I the a-hole for putting my foot down on this? I'm sorry, what? No, OP, you are not the a-hole. I would say don't put your foot down, drop the idiot. I mean, let's be honest, he does not respect you. How is it having an extended menu to accommodate somebody else's dietary restrictions or dietary preferences not accommodating his family? That is the most ridiculous, and let's call it just what it is, stupid argument I've ever heard regarding food choices. It's just as stupid as saying, no, I don't want you to eat a cookie because I want to have a hot dog. What the hell, man? And you're paying for it, and he had the gall to just go behind your back and just take everything that you wanted out of the menu because of, again, his stupid logic? And the cherry on top is that when you wanted to confront him, he knew what you wanted and he just kept hanging up on you because he thought that maybe just not talking about it would make it all better. He is an idiot and you definitely deserve better than this a-hole. OP, in my opinion, marriage should be a lifelong partner. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But either way, you definitely have to vet the person that you want to create a family with. I don't think this guy is it for you. All of this to say, no OP, you are most definitely not the a-hole, and yeah, he is. And what do you guys think? What is your judgment? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what their judgment was. Kirafim says, not the a-hole. As someone who has been vegan and vegetarian for 15 years and very familiar with this kind of hostility from meat eaters, I beg of you to seriously reconsider your relationship. His family is one thing, but if he's so flippant about your lifestyle and makes comments about it not being real food, it means he doesn't respect you, especially if he's doing crap like this behind your back. Doesn't seem like he's trustworthy. He sounds like the type of person that would intentionally feed you non-vegan things because he thinks it's funny and would teach you a lesson. The Copper Mind says, not the a-hole. Is your fiancé always this disrespectful to you and your family? I'm sure he knows your reasons for being vegan and he still went ahead and made the choice to exclude you and your family at your own wedding while you are footing the bill. OP, this seems indicative of the type of treatment you should expect after the wedding. Complete disregard for your needs, your health, your choices, and your happiness, as well as the willingness to withhold the truth from you. It seems like a big red flag to me, OP. You should reconsider going forward with this marriage to a man who is already demonstrating this level of entitlement and disregard for you. Lazy Belt 2341 says, not the a-hole. That was incredibly disrespectful. Even if he doesn't agree with the lifestyle, he needed to make sure you and your family felt included and welcome at your wedding. But instead, he deceived you and then berated you for it. There are so many red flags here, it's heartbreaking. This isn't even just a put my foot down movement. This is a him completely ignoring your needs and wishes. There are tons of vegan options for food. Between the two of you, both of your needs and desires need to be met on y'all's day. But instead, he tossed your needs to the side like garbage and then yelled at you for it. I would do some serious reconsidering about your relationship. What other needs of yours does he disregard? Does he prioritize your needs over that of himself and his family? Are you confident that he'll care for you in the future? Additional information from OP's comments. Frankly, I have no idea why his mom feels so strongly about getting involved. I only included her in the wedding planning only because I respect her, but I guess it's like they say, give an inch and they'll take a mile. What gets me is that aside from the vegan options, we have 6 options with meat. His mom actually picked one of them, and I'm paying for the whole thing. Okay, well, no surprise there. The community absolutely agrees that OP is not the a-hole. Now, we've got 2 updates from OP, one that was in the same post, and then one that we've got just a little bit later. So let's move on with the first one. So his mom messaged me earlier to try to get me to listen to what she had to say after I kept ignoring her phone calls. She sent long walls of text just to address what I did at her son's workplace, calling it all kinds of stuff from immature to unhinged. She then went on to explain how she's noticed that my family and I kept acting dismissive of her son's input and contributions to the wedding. She said that she noticed my behavior towards him and her entire family and wanted to speak up earlier, but didn't and tried to keep the peace. She went on to address the food menu issue and denied her involvement in the cancellation of the vegan option, but that didn't mean she doesn't support her son's decision. Moreover, she thought it was so responsible of him to make that move because of my continual refusal to see how this stuff is a waste of money. She also pointed out how I kept saying I paid for it and said that technically this isn't just my money, it's mine and his because we're getting married. She suggested I wisen up and get rid of the my money, I paid for it mentality. She finally mentioned how bad this whole situation is making me look and said that she and her son had already offered a number of compromises that I chose to brush off and decided to make it my weird hill to die on. She said that not only her son is upset, but she and the family are as well after hearing about it and suggested I just agree on their compromise and be done with it. This pissed me off beyond belief, and I responded by letting her know that I'm still standing my ground on this, even if I'll have to call the whole wedding off because of it. Because honestly, this is ridiculous. It is. My mom and dad, they don't even know what to say anymore. Apparently, my fiance saw my response to her, he's with her, and is now trying to call me, but right now, I'm waiting for him to get home and see if he's still insisting on the stance he took. I'll update you if there's anything worth adding after we talk. Well, at least now we know why the groom is such an a-hole. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. What the hell is wrong with his mother and her entitlement? It is not just her money, it is also his. No. That happens after you get married, and depending if you have a prenup or not. I was reading what OP wrote, and all the time I was thinking to myself, I hope that woman steps on a Lego. Regardless, we have a final update to see what happened after they talked. So let's finish off this story with that. So the talk didn't go well. I waited for him to come home so we could have a final conversation about it, but he still insisted on his stance. For more details, his family is a bit on the heavy side, most of them are obese. Nothing wrong with that, they're perfectly within their right to decide how to live, but they get easily offended at the mention of words like weight and food. I tried so hard to focus on the issue at hand, but I noticed there was a pattern for this behavior. He said it wasn't true, and that this was just an attempt for me to throw past conflicts at him in order to win the current one. He claimed he tried to reason with me about why and how his guests might see those vegan options as offensive. Also said that his family loves food and considers it a big deal, and how he didn't want his family to feel like there are certain options that they couldn't touch, and feel that there's a difference in how I treat them versus how I treat my family. He then went on to explain how it's just an event and how my family should just accept what's on the menu, and if they felt inconvenienced, so what? It's just a one-time thing. They're not gonna die if they had salad and appetizers. What he said wasn't a good enough reason for me, because his folks are gonna think and say what they want, but at the end of the day, it's my wedding too. And to be honest, realizing that my partner himself thinks it's okay to steamroll my opinions and decisions simply because he's prioritizing others and their opinions over me was really upsetting and not something that could be looked past. Normally, I'm a person of rational discussions and compromises. I'm all about compromises. I'd compromised on much bigger matters than just food, but as people said, it's not about the food anymore, if it ever was. Like, he'd literally lose nothing if he let me have what I wanted, but apparently he was willing to lose it all over this, which is fine by me. I gave him back the ring and called everything off. I just couldn't envision myself living like this any longer. Having to walk on eggshells for his family and letting him basically override my opinions and have the final say no matter what. Marriage is about compromise, and here he has nothing to lose, yet he chose to do this to me and my family. Mind you, this is my first serious relationship and I didn't know what to expect, but it's safe to say that he and his mom and family did make me feel like I was taking crazy pills on many occasions, so that's that. The last thing he said was that I choose my family over him and ended everything between us for the sake of keeping him happy. The decision's been made and it's done. This didn't feel like a partnership anymore. As I said, there were many times his family made me feel like I was taking crazy pills. Honestly, and I'm gonna say this anyway, I hate them. They always made me feel like an outsider and a stranger. Never really warmed up to me and instead pretended to like me, but it was obvious they resented me. They claim that I'm a covert fat phobic, but in reality, I got mocked, along with my family, for being underweight due to health issues I'd mentioned before. Don't even get me started on my ex-future mother-in-law, though I feel as though I gotta let it all out and vent. My ex 100% laid out a roadmap where only his opinion matters and mine is irrelevant. This wasn't the first time, but it for sure would not be the last. Like I said, I noticed a pattern of this behavior but kept rationalizing it, which was a huge mistake on my part. It's been utter torture trying to please him and his family. I'm an emotional mess right now, but there's this little voice of reassurance telling me I've gone through the worst and survived it. I'm so thankful this happened. It helped me see things clearer. Anyways, I just wanted to give an update to those who wanted it. Thank you so much for your endless stream of advice and support. Ah yes, the victim mentality ruining yet another relationship. Other than that, this is a very happy update, OP. Good for you for dropping the idiot. All the best in the future and take care, and thank you for sharing, of course. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, the next story also has an update, so stay tuned. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user OKExtension238. Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend I'd rather be alone and suffer in my apartment than go with him to visit his mom? So I, 23 male, hate my boyfriend's 24 female family with a passion. I can't stand them. They are the most condescending, judgmental a-holes I have ever had the displeasure of knowing. It all started when I first met them. They talked about my looks and how I could improve them by losing weight and cutting my hair and stop eating like a pig. I'm 1 meter 88 centimeters tall and 80 kilos, little over 6 feet and 170 pounds. I go to the gym a lot and I would consider myself fit. They have crapped on my job because they think I'm not good enough to be a doctor and I work too much. His mother is the one that says all of this and the rest agree with her. It has gotten to the point where I'm dreading every birthday, Christmas, or any other celebration because I have to see them again. My boyfriend has told them to stop, but they always said that I'm too sensitive and need to relax. The last time I met them, they told my boyfriend he should dump me and find a man that's better for him. I was sitting next to him when it happened. So, his mom got into an accident and had to go to the hospital I'm working at, and my boyfriend told me to help her and make sure she gets the best care. I told my co-workers, and they assured me that I can't be on her case and that I wouldn't need to be near her at all. My boyfriend and his family begged me that I should visit her and make sure she is okay on my break, and I refused. I said I'd rather be alone in my apartment and suffer than to visit his mom with or without him. I can't effing stand that woman. He and his family have been messaging me non-stop telling me I'm a bad doctor for not wanting to help a patient. But the thing is, she's not my patient. So am I the a-hole? Well, no, Opie, you said it in your last sentence. She is not your patient. And why are they so adamant that you visit her? So that you act like some sort of concierge and help her out or give her extra pillows or tend to her? She does not deserve that, and your boyfriend's behaving like an idiot if he's trying to force you to do it. I am absolutely sure that if she was a nice person, you wouldn't hesitate to go visit her to see how she's doing, and you'd offer to help her out even if she wasn't your patient. But she's decided to be a dick, so no, not the a-hole OP. And what do you guys think? What is your judgment? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community judgments to see what they said. BearCub15 says, not the a-hole, his family sounds awful and I don't blame you. Your problem though is really with your boyfriend. He should not be allowing them to treat you this way, or at least never make you be around them. You may want to reevaluate this relationship. And Opie responds, we have had countless conversations about this and he agrees with me and has told them off. I have also said that if our relationship is gonna work, he needs to accept that I won't ever be near his family. Now that he has been calling and texting non-stop to visit his mother, just me, after all the things she said, I told him what we have talked about before. That being said, I am a doctor and I do have obligations, but my obligations are not to her. I can't be a doctor to someone I have a personal connection to. My co-workers have told me she has been bad-mouthing me to them, so there is no way in hell that I'm visiting that woman. Stella Says So says, not the a-hole, you have zero obligation to cater to her. She has been vile and your boyfriend is allowing it by not putting his foot down. Him even asking you to show her kindness when she refuses to do the same shows his priorities and lack of backbone. Ember's Mom 83 says, not the a-hole. I wouldn't want to visit her either. If she doesn't like you and makes it perfectly clear that she doesn't, why bother and waste your time? Heck, tell them that you stopped in her room and she was sleeping. Opie's Edit. In Sweden, it's 5 years of med school, then you become an intern, I think it's called in the US. After you are done with that, you can specialize in whatever field you like. I'm working in a surgical hospital, and I started my studies half a year before I turned 17. Alright, well, community says not the a-hole, we all agree on that. So let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. So I thought I would give you guys an update, but before that, thank you for all the kind words and support. His mom was fine, she was not in any danger at all, so here's what happened. My colleagues told me how much crap she talked about me and how much better he could do than some wannabe doctor. I was fuming. She and her family had been begging me to visit her and she was like still talking crap about me. So I went to her room demanding to know what her problem was. Well, she didn't like me because I'm, in her words, too masculine to be with her son and he needs to find someone that's not. Lol. I told my boyfriend and he was mad at first, but kinda agreed with her and told me it wouldn't hurt me to try being less masculine. All I said was that if he's trying to make me change who I am, then there is no reason to be with me anymore. He told me that that's not what he wanted and that he loves me. So I told him, like so many of you did, that if he wants me, then he needs to go low contact with her and I'm going to go full no contact. He told me that it's not fair and I was being unreasonable. I had made my choice though, and in the end, we broke up. To be honest, I'm not even heartbroken. I have my job, good friends, and a family that loves me. I have gotten texts from him telling me he misses me, but I have just ignored them. In the end, I'm happy, I think, and it's for the better. Opie's Edit. I just wanna say once again, thank you. To be honest, it's good to hear from strangers that I'm not overreacting, not a coward that's running away when things get hard. I really loved him, but the dude has big mommy issues, and because of his mom, I realized that I can't deal with a guy that can't put me first. I'm already working my ass off, and I can't be bothered to feel like crap after work. Well, OP, good for you. You finally know why they didn't like you, and you did the right thing. You can't be with somebody who won't stand up for you. So, all the best in the future, OP, and thank you for sharing. Take care. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.